Raised by his grandparents in Nyarandoro, Thomas, welcome to the show, and take us back to those early years out in rural life, Zimbabwe.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, I grew up in a rural area, and that was in Nyandoro. Nyandoro is the chief, and I was brought up by my grandparents. And as a young boy, I was a head boy. I used to head cattle, goats, and donkeys. I was into a lot of, traditional music. As you know, I was living in the country with my grandparents, and my grandparents were very much into traditional music. There was a lot of singing and drumming, and there are certain, traditional instruments that I actually know how to play myself. And I should say, life was very exciting, during those days.
Your grandparents are respected in the community, and you go on to help Uncle Marshall and the four brothers produce some great songs. Tell us about that.
Well, Marshall was actually one of the finest musicians in this country, and his records are still selling, and his band is, still playing his music without him. He's a sick man now, like I said. I've always, traveled to Chitungiza to see him. He's not well. Like I said, he's a sick man. But
has that affected the way you write today? Because so many of your group members through the years have fallen ill.
Oh yeah, sure. It's one of those things. Many of my group members have passed away. We had great musicians, great guitarists like Jonas Itole, Leonard Chiangwa, and Ephraim Karimaura, Charles Makokoe, and the great Sebastian Bata, and Enoch Manda, who was the saxophonist. They all passed away. And well, some died from natural illness, and some suffered from AIDS. That's one of those things. Today we are there is very few of us who are still alive.
In fact, if you go back to the Springfields, Cosmic, Four Dots, hardly any of the band members still are around. Some of your recent songs like Mukondombera write about AIDS. Has this affected your songwriting prolifically?
No, this hasn't actually affected my songwriting. I'm still writing good songs, and people still enjoy my music today.
Right.
Yeah.
But is it they enjoy it because you're writing about real issues like life and death?
Yes, when I actually started, writing Chimrenga music, I've been writing about important issues that are very important to the lives of, the people of this country, how they are suffering, their day-to-day lives.
Well, Thomas, songs like Shungu Zinondi Baya, your very first single that did so well, talked about these themes.
Oh yeah, Shungu Zinondi Baya is a song about a man who was very, very rich, but he lost all those, businesses, cars, the lovely homes that he had, lovely wife. Things, started turning sour. It's like we're reminding, people that if there is mismanagement in your life, things won't go well for you. So it's one of those songs. Reminding the people that when they've got something, they should look after that something.
There's almost a moral theme in there. Does that come from your early years in the church?
Well, this song, originally, it was not my tune. There was a group called the Capital Sid Dixies. An uncle of mine who was a comedian in that group used to sing this song. And as a young man, I used to go and listen to them playing on the stage. And when I heard him, sing this song, I said to myself, this man is making a joke out of this song, but this is a great song. Because
it hit you right then and there.
Yeah, he was a comedian. He used to make people laugh. So I said, why is he making a joke out of this song? This song is like a very important, it's got a very, very important message. And he didn't even bother to record the music. I actually asked him to let me record the music, and he gave me the permission to record the music.
Wow, so Thomas, you recognize things even then. Well, there's no joke about this man. He continues to write beautiful ballads, beautiful songs. Mr. Chimurenga himself, the Lion of Zimbabwe, after this, One on One. Welcome back to One on One, Thomas Mapfumo. Thomas, Mangura Mine, you went to a great story. You were asked to sing there, and at that time you started the Hallelujah Chicken Run.
That's right.
Great names, a great beginning. Talk us through.
Yeah, when we were invited, to Mangura by the mine management, we went there and we formed, the group Hallelujah Chicken Run. This name came about because the rest of the band members were working at the chicken run, right? Preparing the chicken food, seeing that, everything was well with the chickens. And mine manager, Mr. Walker, came to me and he said, what's the name of your group? I said to him, the name of the group was Hallelujah. And he said to me, why don't you name this group Hallelujah Chicken Run, Chicken Run Band? I said, well, that was okay with me. We went ahead and we named the group Hallelujah Chicken Run Band. And there were about 5 members within the group. I was playing the drums and also doing the singing. There was Elisha Jossam also playing the lead guitar and singing at the same time. Robert Nekati playing the bass, and Daram Kalanga playing the trumpet. And there was Love Nyabeza, who is now the coach of the soccer team, Lancashire Steel, playing the rhythm guitar. So like that.
That's how it began. But let's ask this. Was there any racism and a sense of inferiority shown to you guys in those days? When did the spirit of liberation and wanting to rise up and bring some sort of justice to all peoples come in you? Was it from any of those experiences on the mine?
Well, there was what you could call racism, during those days. Because what I understand is this band, when it was formed, were playing for the clubs frequented by the whites only, and
you were well received.
I beg your pardon?
Were you well received?
We were well received by the whites because, as you know, we used to do some of the copyright music,
right,
and some nightclub, stuff.
You were entertainers, and you were well received and somewhat popular.
Yes, we were entertainers.
But did you sense any different attitudes out there?
Yeah, there was, different attitudes out there because, as you know, when we had a break, we didn't mix with the audience because they were whites. We used to stay, backstage, right? We were blacks. In those times, we didn't mix much with the white people.
So Thomas, it seems that this is just maybe not deep racism, but a sense of ostracizement, a sense that you're not involved.
Oh, yeah.
But when did Blacks Unlimited come to the fore, and when did you feel that you needed to take to the masses this ambiguous message, and obviously the first album, Hokoyo, which landed you 90 days in jail?
Hokoyo was not recorded by the Blacks Unlimited. It was recorded by the Acid Band. The Acid Band is the first band, to record real Chimrenga tunes. They recorded Pamro Machete, a single which was an instant hit, and a lot of people went out to buy that single like hot cakes, everyone wanted to have that music, because during that time, that's when the Liberation War broke out, and so the people were actually supporting this type of music because there was that message, the message they wanted to listen to, the freedom, the message about freedom.
What is freedom to you?
Well, freedom is, I think freedom is, to me, I have to be a free man, you know what I'm talking about. I have to be, to be a free man, I have to say what I want to say, even on television, even, in the papers. I mustn't be, be refused, that right. I have a right as a citizen of this country to say what I want to say. If something is good for me, I have to actually say this is good. If it's bad, I have to point it out and say this is not good, this is bad.
Well, you've been doing that, you've been noted for that. After the break, Mavemvi, Disaster, two singles that have almost been struck off. Thomas talks more, one-on-one. Welcome back to One-on-One. We now return to Thomas, the family man. Wife Verna, beautiful children's, Matinyana, we may have seen her earlier, Chiedza and Tafumunyayi. Wonderful family, and yet so much more in their futures before them. What would you like them to become?
Well, they have actually to choose their own destiny. They are still young, still two of them still are attending school. Chiedza is at St. John's, and Tafumane was at Chinoi High, and now he's at the Spaces College. Well, they have to, to think about their own future. I am here to assist them to attain education. If they actually learn well and become educated, because most of the day-to-day situation that we are facing, it's about the educated people. You want to live in a modern world, you have to be educated. And so they have to choose their own destiny. They have to know what they want.
But you're giving them a platform from education.
I'm actually giving them that platform.
Turning now to another type of education, your world tours, you've traveled to Sweden, Germany, Japan, United States, England. What have these experiences taught you in two fronts, Thomas? One as a musician and two as a visitor to other cultures.
Well, I actually have visited a lot of countries, and the environment in those countries is just wonderful.
What's wonderful about it?
Because they are living in peace. They are able to mix with other races. There is no racism. They welcome visitors. They've been very nice to...
You didn't find with the dreadlocks and a bit of the cultural heritage that you brought with you any funny looks in the streets?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have enjoyed most of my tours, especially in countries like Denmark, Switzerland, Sweden, the United States, England.
So you received a warm welcome, but how about the music? I mean, the music is so different. The lyrics can't be understood. How did the audiences relate or understand your music?
They actually have read about me in my biography. They know what my music stands for. So I don't need to introduce myself to them. They know who I am and what I stand for. They know my history. They know my music played a very important role. During the liberation struggle in this country, and they, respect me as a freedom fighter.
Not only are you respected as a freedom fighter, but in 1999 you received the World Music Awards in the United States, the American World Music Awards. What did that mean to you?
Well, I was very much thrilled because I knew that by doing that, the American the American people have recognized me as an African musician with, the African sound.
The African sound continues. Thomas Mapfumo, don't go away. One-on-one with the man, Lion of Africa, after this. Brian Mateki, the great sculptor, gave you a wonderful honor in recognizing you as a Chimurenga star in Zimbabwean music. That accolade continues in the hearts of so many people, and the album sales that continue. Songs like Fuma Pa Reserva.
Fuma Pa Reserva.
Yeah.
Well, Fuma Pa Reserva is about the plight of the people. During the liberation struggle, when people ran from their homes, running away from the war, how they suffered. And this is what Fuma Pa Reserva means.
And how about some love stories? Thomas with a beautiful wife, Verna, and beautiful children. Has any of that family life inspired you to write more about love?
I've not written a lot of love songs. I have a few love songs right now. I cannot just remember some of them, but I have a few love songs that I've written. I also think that, well, it is good to sing about love, but not in a situation like this. You sometimes have to forget about, bedroom love and think about the important love amongst the people, the rest of the people. That's the love I actually recognize myself. I don't think bedroom love is very, very important to, concerning my life.
And yet it seems, Thomas, that that's what sells albums. Let me ask you this. Would you consider changing your style to become more popular? For example, in the roots of rap or maybe R&B, soul. Would you change your style at all to make more sales?
I wouldn't change my style for anything, because I think we have had enough conflict in this world. There is no use of, trying to sing about love between two people, man and a woman. The love that I'm talking about is the love amongst the people, the rest of the world. We have to love each other as a people. That is the important love that I must sing about. I've heard a lot of people singing about bedroom love. Maybe they haven't got problems, but when I look at the whole situation, there are a lot of problems in this world that need to be solved, and there's no time to sing about bedroom love. Fena is my wife. I know her. She loves me. I love her. I don't have to write a song about her. She knows the secret between me and her, and that's enough. Let's sing about the love between the people of different races, and that is a very important issue, because there is no love amongst the people. People are killing one another. So where is that love? Yes, there is no love.
It seems that your heart and your head, your full emotions are heavy with the issues of the day, not just in Zimbabwe, but in regional Africa.
That's true. That's true.
The intrigue of the man who has captured Chimurenga's spirit for decades. Thomas Mapfumo, thank you so much for being on One on One. And any parting words for the fans tonight?
Well, they should actually look forward to some new music. We have got new music that we are actually going to release in future, and I think this music is just fantastic.
Well, you're just fantastic. Watch Motsi, watch the Cap, watch the full Thomas in person, one-on-one. We're giving away something very special, and if you keep watching next week, we've got a wonderful Rebecca Malope on one-on-one, South Africa's biggest selling gospel artist, so don't miss that. Thanks for being with us in this expose on Zimbabwean artists. This has been Thomas. I'm Gary. Good night.